And first up on the list, we've got this little beauty right here. It looks like an Atreides base, and it is built up in this area of the map, the top left, kind of near the eastern shield wall in the Oddham. Let's take a look at what this guy did here. It's pretty awesome. This one kind of fulfills that loading screen fantasy of the Atreides space. If you guys remember the loading screens and you see them showing an Atreides space kind of like this. I mean, it kind of has like the ramps out here that stick out. Kind of nice. I like it. What's really cool about this guy's base is it actually passes through this rock, this underpass here. So you can actually walk under it inside the base. Look at that. Kind of neat. And he's got some nice shields on the back over here. Tastefully done. I like it. It's got his water supplies and stuff. Look at this. He even did the bottom of it to make it look like it's supported. That is really nice. Wow, that's really pretty. That takes some work to do some ramps like that. Very nice. The attention to detail in this space. Good job, whoever this is. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, and next up on the list, our next stop today is another Atreides base. Check this one out. Here's a little helipad up here, even marked with an H, which is pretty funny. This is kind of like a small city. It kind of looks like an Atreides city, almost as if it could be a landmark or something made by the devs in the game. That's how good this looks, actually. I'm really impressed. We'll do a total fly around here. Check this out. He's got like little alleyways and stuff to walk around in here, like shops and stuff almost. It looks like that's where he actually keeps lots of his building stuff inside that. I like it. I like it. All right. Look at this little tower we have going on. He even did the little opening on the tower. Wow, he supported it in the middle with a beam so that it could be open on all sides. Interesting. Another helipad on the back side. Okay, I see. He's got them sticking out both sides. And then it all goes all the way down to the ground in multiple spots. Not a huge fan of the pillar use here. I think these pillars are very ugly. But I think he's trying to work with what he has. Maybe he could have built this down a little further, made it taller, and then used those X-style pillars instead, if you're trying to stick with Atreides. Yeah, the problem is Atreides has some ugly pillars, especially the skinny ones. They really don't look that great. But overall, really nice space. I mean, outstanding. Like, look at the love and attention he put into the space. Oh, man, look at this centerpiece right here. That is nice. He's even got little tables and stuff outside, couches to sit on, you can see. Wow. And it looks like he has it open to the public where you can actually walk in. So, you know what? Let's do that. Let's walk in quick. Why not? If they're going to let me walk in, let's do it. This is something that I would recommend a lot of people do. There's nothing wrong with letting people walk in your house. They cannot take your stuff or interact with anything unless you have your stuff personally set to public. I'm not so crazy about these bookshelves in here. So maybe we'll end the tour there. But it is a really nice space. He did a lovely job. And let's get on to the next house. All right, next up we have a Harko style base. And although right off the bat, I almost skipped this one because it was kind of square. And I'm not a huge fan of square bases, personal preference. I don't like giant cubes. But he did something interesting that I wanted to showcase here. And I mean, it is a pretty looking base. It's nice. It's not an eyesore. So it's a little on the tall side. But check this out. This is the really cool part I've seen a couple people do now. He's not the only one, where they make little individual landing pads inside their base. And the sheer size of this makes it hard to look good. Like, building anything this big to fit that many ornithopters inside when you look at the scale is hard to do. So props to him for pulling it off and putting little landing pads in here, because it does look good. It looks sharp, a little square, but it looks good. He did a nice job. It's clean. And I'm a huge fan of the way that they put their thopters on these little pads. So I would actually like to do that one day with my base. And I will be showing one of my bases on this video tour as well. But yeah, it's a nice base. I can see the love and attention to detail. He put some chairs and seating areas out here, which is really cute. Lots of little light things to light it up. So I'm sure it looks really nice at night too. The overuse of the hangers on the top here is kind of but it's probably just for what do they call it? It's functional, right? It's a functional base. This is his actual base he uses, right? Which is cool. It looks like his little sub base out here. Not sure what this is. A little worm seating area. That's kind of cool. This is probably part of the same base. Kind of neat, like a little gazebo outside. That's a nice touch. Well, good job, whoever this is. I like your base. And we're on to the next one. All right. We've got another Harko base here. And this one's interesting, kind of spiky, kind of up on a pillar. Has an interesting ramp kind of coming down. And the ramp's a little on the thin side. Maybe he could rework that a bit. But I do like this. It looks like a little Darth Maul head sticking on top of a thing. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. I think if he could fill this in and get rid of that wonky looking chopper on the top and fill it in all black, that would be really nice. It is a nice little base. And I think he also owns the stuff down here, and he kind of went a little crazy with the shields. Functionality, I can see what he's doing. It's fine. This isn't the aesthetic. This isn't, you know, that's why he should put it separate from the rest of the base. I'm not even sure if it's tied to this in any way either, but either way, I like the little tiny base up on top of the pillar. So, nice job. Next up, we've got ourselves another Atreides base lined up here. This one is actually just to the left of the official Atreides castle area, the faction base. So, let's take a look. This looks kind of interesting. I haven't seen this before. So I like it. It's cool. I like what he's trying to do here. He's trying to make something that looks very unique and no one else has done, and I like that. Anytime people get really creative. Not a fan of the smooth roof, but again, something I haven't seen yet, so that's nice. And he's using all the different building pieces from Atreides here. Put sandworm pieces up on the top. It's kind of cool. Look at this ramp system going on here. Very, very interesting. I wonder if he can drive vehicles across that. Overall, he built on a cliffside and used the whole cliff all the way down. It's kind of cool, kind of neat. Has some nice hangars here. Oh, we're low on fuel. Try to refuel that. Boop, no problem. We got room for all his thopters here, it looks like. Oh, and a sand trawler down there. But that's not what we're here to judge. We're here to judge the base. So check out this. It's like up in the rock wall, there's all these tunnels and little mini buildings and stuff. This is actually kind of cool, and this is kind of Dune-like. Kind of reminds me of like a Sietch or something. Like hidden inside the rock face, all these little tunnels and things. So cool. Nice base. Very creative. The usage of the wall was crazy. And then he has these very unique buildings on top. Honestly, just very unique. So points for uniqueness and creativity. On to the next base. Wow, look at this base. This guy has some serious skill in base building. What a beauty. I'm just kidding, guys. This is my house. But I'm going to show it on this video. So this is a little Atreides castle I built in front of the official faction Atreides base, and it's up on a pillar. Let's get a little fly around here. We have some exterior kind of walkways and balconies going on over here. It is symmetrical, where everything kind of matches on both sides. We got the hangars hidden on the back side, a larger hangar down bottom, a smaller hangar up top with a little ornithopter pad sticking out. We do have more balconies kind of extending all throughout the base. And what's interesting, which you can't really tell by looking at it on the outside, but these things on the side actually serve as walkways to connect between the different floors and stuff. And you can also travel in on the inside. There's connections as well, but there's actually external staircases and stuff. So kind of a cool little base. I'll give you guys a little lower view of it. We'll kind of go underneath it. There we go. We can see how it's built on the pillar there. And we'll come back up. There we go. And we did these cool little, I don't know, like pillar castle looking things on top. So that's that base. That's one of mine. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. How did I do? How did everybody else do? And on to the next base. This is looking like an Atreides base to me, although you can't barely tell because of all the shields. This also looks like a really tall parking garage. Kind of cool, though. Can't imagine the power bill on this thing. It is nighttime, so it's a little hard to see. But check out this. This is actually the rest of his base here. Wow, look at that. He's got some nice ground buildings. These are really pretty, actually. Did a really nice job. Look at that. Quite the extravagant setup he has going on here. We're going to have to go back and take a look at that pillar again in a second because it's kind of cool. I actually really like this space. I saw it from a distance a few times. I never got this close to check it out. Look at this. It's like, again, it's like a city. I love it when people build little cities. Can't imagine the taxes on this place. As you can see, the power bill looks like right there in the back to keep this place running and functional. But this looks like a Fast and Furious Tokyo garage or something here. Go on. That's pretty funny. Oh, he did the little landing pad thing inside that I like. That's cool. Love to see it. And he actually fit a carrier thopter in there. Holy smokes, that gives you a sense of the scale. Size, sheer size of this thing. Nice base, good job. On to the next one. All right, next up we've got another Atreides base as the sun is coming back up. It is built on a pillar, but it also looks like it has a ground floor down here. Look at that. We've got use of those X-style pillars I was talking about that look nicer than the other ones I pointed out early in the video. So I do like the X pillars better if you have to use a pillar as Atreides. That's cool. This looks like a large Thopter garage down bottom there, like a hangar. And then we've got this little ground garage over here, it looks like, and then I guess it connects to or has this base up on top of the pillar with another hangar on the back. And then a living quarters. Look at that. We got a little living quarters on the inside where all the magic happens. And let's zoom out here because there's something I really like on the front side of this space. I do like the overall look. I like the use of the little towers that he has going on. And check out this. He used inverted ramps, which is very creative, I think. I have not seen this on any other bases, not on today's list, and not flying around any Haga basins. But check out these. That makes a really nice look. It's pretty cool. Oh, look at this in the front, too. He did the open thing, so it's like, wow, like balconies. Very creative balconies here, too. So I like those. Look at that, and it's open right inside, so you can kind of walk around in there. That's cool. Very nice. So used a lot of the Atreides building pieces. I've seen this base over time kind of go through many iterations. I've liked all of the iterations. Oh, look at that. The garage on the down here actually passes through, too, so it goes. So making really good use of this entire pillar area. Very nice. So nicely job. And let's move on to the next one. There's actually a little one right next door over here because I haven't done too many Chom ones. I'm going to go over this one quick. So this one looks like, all right, all right. Got a little Chom, a base building set, the original Chom building set, no upgrades. But it looks like it's very much lived in. There's a little garage down here at the bottom on the ground floor and a little hangar on top with little balconies. Look, oh, it's a drive-through garage. I always like it when people do drive-through garages. That's nice. You know, it does up the power bill a little bit. You got a nice little side building over here connected with a walkway. And hey, he took the time to decorate. You know, I love it. People take the time to decorate, especially on the outside. Really makes the place feel lived in. Nice job. And on to the next base. I had to stop when I saw this one because it had something I hadn't seen yet before. So it's got lots of these triangle usage here where he's making like support beams and pillars and ramps throughout the thing. Very interesting, very triangle pointed kind of base, which I can't say. I mean, I have to say it's not square, so that's a good thing. Check out this though. He like textured the top area, like a walking area or the roof. Kind of cool, kind of cool. I'm into it. Let's take a look at the side over here. This has got to be his actual real base, right? It looks functional. It does, but it also looks like he's trying to put some love into it and be creative. He's clearly trying to do some stuff that nobody else has done, and I love that. So points for that. Points for creativity. Points for the textured roofs, and the use of triangles are consistent throughout this space, so I like that too. Nice job, and keep up the good work. We'll be on to the next base. This one here might possibly be the longest base. I actually do know the guy who built this one. I don't know what that thing is outside. That looks like it's something being destroyed, or perhaps maybe a remainder of a base, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at this beauty right here. Let's take a look. Wow, quite large. Quite large. There's little dangly things here. That's pretty cool. Lots of circle windows on the side. Got little garages on the top, and we're gonna little staircases going up the side over here. Definitely looks like somebody's main base. Oh, look at this. This is like, you can go inside here. That's pretty awesome. I like that. You can probably get a view of the inside a little bit better too, and I'm not going to be able to get you inside. But pretty cool. Let's look over here. Oh, look at this. He's using those triangle things I was just talking about on the other one. Looks like a little drive-through garage down here. Oh, look at these staircases. You can get up inside. Hey, if I can fly my ornithopter in your base, I will. Believe me. Quite extravagant in here. Oh, a large spice refinery, too. This guy's rich. Filthy, stinking rich. All right. Let's see if we can get on out of this house here. We're gonna stick, because there's still more of this house to look at, believe it or not. It extends. Like, this guy made the Great Wall of China over here and decided to extend his land extenders as far out as he could over here and put all his power super... I'm going to have to say, this is ugly. But, you know what? It makes a statement. It's like, check out my huge, massive base and how far it stretches, and you have to look at it if you're trying to drive to the outpost over here. This is actually located at this outpost, the anvil over here. Very interesting, very large rectangle, but some really nice, I'm going to say, some really nice work on the design, especially internally here. It's like, it was large enough to fly into and has multi-levels. I'd love to get a peek at the inside of this space. because it looks like they were really trying to be creative and stretch the limits of what they could do. And clearly, this guy spends a lot of time in the deep desert and stuff. It must be because he's got pretty much one of every kind of ornithopter plus the little sand trawler right there. So cool. Very nice. There's a couple other small box spaces around here, so let's get moving on to the next area. And next up is another Atreides base. Atreides seems to be very popular on my Sietch. All right, I love this. Very open. Has the big banner flags. That's kind of cool. It has a huge doorway. Little shield. Tastefully done shield up on top. I don't think I've seen one done quite like that with like the black wall pieces and then the shields and then a little skinny one. That's kind of nice. Look at this. He has like a long skinny window up going up the side. It's just nice. I don't know what about it. Just overall just came together really nice. I love this too. It's like lots of open roof areas on top to walk around. Very cool. And they used a lot of the tall windows in the design. And we got them X-pillar, a mix of the X-pillar with the single pillar. I don't hate it. I still don't love it, but it's not his fault. I just don't like the Atreides pillars. I think they need a redesign. Look at this, though. This is nice. This is another long base like the other long one we had. Look at that. Somebody did the roof thing again where they used the ramps for roofs. I wonder if that's... No, that's not his behind it, is it? That's... Might be. Certainly hope not. Maybe. Maybe it looks like a rune or something. Like you built like a little broken up rune on the backside. Looks like we're getting shot at too. Let's finish looking at this space and move on. Nice space though. I like it. Looks very Atreides. I like the open... Oh, I don't like those power things on top. The power things are so ugly. You guys know you guys can hide those in your garages and stuff. They'll work just fine. But really nice space overall. You drive around and see this, you can tell someone's living in it, someone's using it. Okay, I had to stop and look at this one because he made a ramp, guys. Check this out. Check this out. It doesn't look like too much when you're flying by, but check it out. He built an actual jump ramp off of his base. Look at this. From the top, okay? So you can put like a vehicle up here. Absolutely hilarious. You can actually drive the vehicle all the way up the ramp and then down the ramp and just jump. Just like, whoa, go flying. I actually kind of want to do that now. Yeah, I think that's going to have to happen. Stand by for a second, guys. We're going to jump this. Okay. So as promised, we are going to do this jump thing, guys. Here we are. Hopefully we get it on the first try. Wonder how far we're going to make it. First attempt. Here we are. Let's line it up. Let's line it up. Gonna go over the edge first and then boost. Woo! Yeah! All right. Boosh. Awesome. All right. Points for that guy for letting us have some fun and making the ramp public. That is cool. Alrighty, looks like we have another Harko base up on the menu for today. Look at this thing. This has got to be one of the nicer Harko bases I've seen, I think. Made his own pillars again. Come on, guys. Points for making your own pillars today. Love it. And you can fly through it. Points for being able to fly through it. Let's get out the other side. Ooh, it looks like he actually cheated and used a couple pieces from another set almost. I'm just kidding. That's not cheating. If you can mix and blend them and I can barely tell, then you did a nice job. Check this out. It looks very Harkonnen. You know what? From like the books and the lore, like really tall walkways is what I always imagined. Very intimidating structures. Very, very nicely done. I like it a lot. I do. There's always room for improvement. Like we could get rid of these ugly looking windmills and maybe turn them on because the power looks like it's off. But I like this area too, like a very open landing pad clearly. Maybe we could decorate it a little bit, but I do like this. I do like this. All right, on to the next one. And we've got a circular Harko base this time. This looks sharp. I'm not going to lie. This looks sharp. That's very clean. And a very nice job. Very nice job. Doing the thing again where we make our own pillars because the pillars in the game aren't good enough for us. Little hangers here that look like they don't need power to operate because they're probably got good cover. I like the space. It's simple, yet super clean. It's symmetrical. I love the use. This looks awesome. These things here, the way he kind of overlapped them like that, wow. That looks good. All right, next base. And here we are, another Atreides base up on the menu, using some ramps to come out the front here. We even made our little water thingies down there symmetrical, the wind traps or whatever they are. Wind traps. for collecting water. We made those symmetrical. We even made our parked ornithopters symmetrical. This guy has got a thing for symmetry. Look at the size of his tall pillars. He's like, you know what? I see you guys building your tall Atreides pillars, and I'm going to do you one. I'm going to build mine twice as tall. That's right. So we continue with the symmetry as we fly around, and I bonk my tail on the rock. Got an ornithopter parking outside. Look at that. Lots of ornithopters in this guy's place. There looks like the living quarters inside. Very see-through, very open. Probably has really good lighting. Oh, look, you can fly through, so you're never gonna... You know we're gonna... All right, let's see what's inside here. Oh, it's like a garage. It's a downstairs garage with large ore refineries and large storage. This guy is filthy stinking rich. All right, very nice base. Honestly, this is a really cool base. I like it. I even like the really tall glass pillar things going on here. These castle-looking things. So, and look at this. There's another little base over here to the side. We might as well take a look at this one really quick while we're here. I don't think I would have shot this one without it being right next door, but because it is, let's take a look and see. It kind of gets better as you go around it. Interesting how the power's off. Okay, well, it probably looks better with shields on and cleaned up. We did the little... I can see though here. People trying to be creative and see what they can do with it. I can see that. So, yeah, probably shouldn't have done this one, but that's okay, we did. On to the next one. Another base without power today. But it is cool, so I thought we'd stop and take a look. I bet you these things were shield walls at one point, and I bet you that looked really sharp having the shields activated. But check this out. I just wanted to show it because I liked something he did here. It looks like these are his crafting stations and living quarters, and he did it symmetrical on both sides. I mean, overall, just look at the top view of this. I know it's not super impressive from the front yet because the power's off, but it's really cute little base. One of the smallest ones I've looked at today, but just well done. So hopefully he comes back, gets his power back on before his base gets destroyed because he did a nice job with it, or I'd love to see him build something in the future. Alrighty, you can see this one as we're coming up on it. Definitely creative, definitely beautiful to look at as you fly by, so we have to stop by, right? We got to stop by and see what this guy did. Looks like Atreides, from what I can tell, and a little bit of the Twitch drops that they were doing for the special building set. Looks like he's storing a carrier ornithopter here. I'm going to show you something interesting about this base in a second, too. I like the usage here. This looks like, wow, look at these. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. That's a staircase there, I think, guys. Yeah. Is that like a ramp staircase that goes all the way up from the bottom? I think it is. Oh, no, it's not. It's not. Maybe it is. Let's get in a little closer. No, it's not, but look at this. He used, like, the half-angled walls. Oh, no, those are triangle pieces that he stacked to make... That is an interesting use of a pillar. Props for doing that. And look at how big this is. In size, you can actually... I love being able to fly into people's bases. Look at that. Now, this looks unfinished a little bit on the inside, but that's okay. We're mostly judging outsides today for the most part. But, yeah, wow, look at that. Look at that. This is kind of neat, too. It's like a Twitch drop pillar. Maybe a little too tall, honestly. If we could chop it off right about here, I think, and put a lid on it, it would match more aesthetically to the rest of the building. But this is a really nice building. It doesn't have an overuse of shields. Has a very symmetrical. Like I said, you can fly into it, and it has those really cool pillars. Like, he made his own pillars. Like, you know, the pillars in the game aren't good enough for me. I'm going to make my own pillars. I love that. Props for doing that. I think I might copy those pillars on a future base. This is clearly not finished. Okay, the inside isn't finished, and this back piece is probably going to have something up there. So this is awesome. This space isn't even finished yet, and it already is looking really great. So good job to whoever did this. Look at that. We got a little entry ramp from the ground down there, too. Take you in. It looks like this base must be somebody's, like, you know, this ain't their first rodeo, clearly. They got something in mind they're doing, so good job. And, oh, yeah, I was going to say the location here is hilarious. It's on the right side of the Haga map, where the Haga Rift is, and there's actually, in order to get to the Harko, base thing over here to do some of the missions and stuff, the Harko base, you have to see this guy's Atreides base. That always cracks me up whenever people like block huge locations. He's not blocking it, but he's clearly putting in a spot where people are going to see it and have to pass by it and admire it. Not to mention it's got a good location right on the right side of the map, so he can quickly exit with this stopter and get to the deep desert. So that's cool. Points for location as well. All right, guys, that is all the bases we're going to be looking at today, but I'm going to do a lot more. If you guys like this video, give me a like and a thumbs up and a subscribe. Leave me a comment and tell me which of the bases was your favorite. and we'll see you next time.